to Paris Crochet Flow. My name is Paris and I am back here with a short tutorial on how to make a heart for a horse. Sometimes back I made the heart for a friend, and I wrote some notes somewhere, but for some reason I can't find them, so we are going to try and do this just going with the flow and see how that turns out. I sort of have a memory of how I made the heart, so we are going to work on this together and hopefully we get a nice product. So let's just begin with a chain 15. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. Now this is going to be, I'm going to kind of draw for you here what our goal is. We need to have a front part, which is what we are starting with 15 double crochets. We started with a chain here, so there's going to be a middle part here, and there's going to be the back part that goes around like that, leaving an opening for the ears right there. And then we usually put a pom-pom right there, so, and the ties will be on the sides right there. So what we are going to do now is we are going to start with this part, and we are going to work double crochets. So I'm gonna actually do 3 more. 1 2 3, so a total of 18 in your chain, and then we are going to start right here, and we are going to start off with double crochets, and we are going to make 15. So 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 sorry 12 13 14 and 15. Now we are going to turn and make a chain 3, 1 2 3, and now we are going to be making double crochets only in the back loop. That way we are going to end up with ribbed sort of a stitch. So we are going to be only working in the back loop like that. So go ahead and make your 15 double crochets in the back loop only. As you can see, I'm using the self-reflecting yarn. I don't know if it's visible on the camera, but usually this yarn, if you're in the dark and it hits light, then it reflects just like the reflectors on the workout jackets do. So anyways, we are working only in the back loop of the double crochet, so we are gonna have a nice stretchy fabric. So keep working your double crochets, and we are going to make how many rows? We are going to make Just a moment. So that's our first row of double crochets, and now we are going to turn, chain 3, 1 2 3, and we are going to work again in the back loops only. Don't work in the first stitch, start on the second one, and we are going to continue that way for 15 rows, I believe. If it's not 15, but meet me at the 15th row and we'll take it from there. But this is going to be 15 rows. If at the end of 15 rows we don't have enough, then we can revisit, but for now go ahead and work 15 rows only using the back loops only, and I'll meet you at row number 15. So remember, we are only working in the back loops only, so that we end up with a very stretchy fabric. You could use half double crochets. The only thing is you might end up having to work more rows, but for now let's just work on double crochets and make 15 rows, and I'll meet you on row number 15. Again, we are working double crochets in the back loop only, and we have 15 stitches, so I'll meet you at row number 15. Welcome back. I'm now at row number 15 or 16. Let's count together. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. And I apologize because this part seems like it's shorter than expected, so we are going to be working 5 more rows from where you are. So we are going to have 20 rows in total, and from there we are going to create the bands that go across. So go ahead and continue working in the back loops only of your double crochets right there, only the back loop, and that creates this as you can see, it's giving us a very ribbed look, and this is going to make sense once we move to the next part of the hat. So go ahead and continue making your double crochets in the back loops only, and I will see you at the end of row number 20. So we are going to be making this band to be 20 rows in total. So we are counting both. As you can see, it looks as if it's one, but you are counting 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So we are going to be doing 20 in total, and I'll see you at the end of row number 20. Okay, I'm in row number 20, so let's do row number 20 together and we'll take it from there. So remember, we are only working in the back loops only, and for those of you who left at when we said it's row number 15, we increased to 20 rows. So this is my row number 20, and we will take it from there. Okay, so all that was double crochets in the back loops only, and it gives you a very stretchy fabric, which is also looks like a rib, and as you can see, it's very stretchy. Now we are going to be working the band that goes right across this way, and it's going to be, we are going to pick up 1 2 3 4 5 rows, because on the other side we are going to pick up 1 2 3 4 5, and then in the middle we are gonna need to leave a space for, so that we can have the middle one. So anyways, let's not think about that before we get there. So I'm just going to pick up stitches right here, and we are going to pick up 5. It doesn't matter where. So make a chain 3, 1 2 3, and now we are going to pick up 4 double crochets along. So 2 3 4 and 5. 1 2 3 4 5. So we want to pick up double crochets to cover the 5 rows. 1 2 3 4 5. So let me see how many I have. So I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 double crochets, and this is going to be the same way we worked this part in back loops only. We are going to work this back loops only until we have I would say again about 20, and let's meet at row number 20. Okay, so now we are going to be working either you have 9 or 10 double crochets, and we are going to work again back loops only. Okay, as you can see, we've picked up on one end and we are going to end up on the other end. So that's going to be the band that goes behind or the front. So let's work back loops only in your 9 or 10 double crochets. It could be less, you could make 8. All this, the reason as to why I'm working this way is because it's gonna be based on the size of your horse. If it's a small head, then you're gonna have to make a smaller heart. If it's a big head, then you're gonna have to make a bigger one. But this is just a guideline as to how to make that heart. So let's make 20 rows, and I will meet you at row number 20. We are working again, we are only working the back loops only, double crochets, and as you can see, it's going to build like a circle, and I'm gonna meet you right here. So let's work 20 rows of double crochets in the back loops only, and I'll see you at row number 20. Welcome back. I am now at row number 20, and I've raised my camera just a tad bit so you can get to see the whole part looks like as at this point. So this is where we began, and we made 20 rows of the wide panel, which was I believe 15 stitches, and this one we picked up from the side of the wider panel, and we picked 9 stitches, or you could have picked 10. So I'm working my last row of 9 stitches, and I'm only working in the back loops only, back loops or back leg, whatever you call it, just the back part of the double crochet, so that you get a nice ribbed fabric. So now that's my row number 20, and now we are going to be joining this part. So you sort of have an L with one longer panel. This is the wider panel, which is going to be the front of the horse, or the back, I forget, but that's the shorter panel, and it's the wider one, which is 15 inches, and it was 20 rows. And we made the shorter one, which we picked up on the side, we made 20 rows. In that case, I believe you could make 3 panels, 1, 2, and then we're gonna be making the third one, which will go across both of them. So now this panel joins to this part right here, so you're going to have something like that. Okay, I hope you can see that. So we have a nail now, and this is the one we picked up from the wider panel. You pick up the short one, which we just finished, which was also 20 rows, and we are going to slip stitch it to the wider panel at the same, about the same area we picked up on the other end. So remember, it has to be, it will end up being straight on. You don't want it to be twisted like that, so you want it to end up being, let me put my crochet down so you can see. You want it to end up being attached to this part. Okay, so this is what you're looking for. So we are going to attach at around the same area where we picked up. So we picked up here. I'm going to repeat just so you can see. We picked up this area, we counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and we picked up 9 stitches. So we made 20 rows, and now we are going to attach it to the other end, just like that. Okay, so attach it and make sure it's not twisted, so that you have something like that, because we are going to create another panel here, and we are going to be leaving the opening for ears. So go ahead and attach it. You can use a darning needle, or in my case I just slip stitch it along. It's gonna look fine, just because we've been working using sort of a ribbed stitch, so it's gonna look fine whichever way you decide to stitch it along. But notice I'm joining it along my along, no, actually it's across the other panel, the first panel that we made. I don't know if this makes sense, and I hope the people who asked me to make this tutorial, I hope this is going to be helpful for you to make your horse a nice hat. And if it doesn't make sense, please kindly reach out to me, and I'll be sure to maybe explain even better with drawings or whatever else might help. But for now, go ahead and slip stitch it to the first panel. So now this is what we have. Okay, if you were to make it in 3 panels, you would have 1 panel that, and a second one that joins, and now we are going to be creating this part that is going to be the top of the head. Okay, so you can go ahead and continue with the slip stitch until we get in the middle of the first panel, and we are going to divide it. We are going to take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for one side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and we need, right in the middle, we need 5 more. So we are going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so in the middle we are going to pick up. Okay, so I'm gonna take you back to where we are attaching here, just so I can explain better. So we picked up on 5 rows on this side and 5 rows on this side. So we have 10 left in the middle. So we are going to slip stitch through 3 so that we can make the band on 4 rows in the middle. Okay, if that makes any sense. So just slip stitch through 3 rows. Okay, and now we are going to pick up stitches. We are going to pick up stitches in 4 rows, 1 2 3 4. So I would make that about 6 double crochets, just because it's wider. So just make sure to pick up about 6 or 7, but make sure it's within the 4 rows in the middle. In case I picked up 10 double crochets. I know I said 6, and as I said, we are going by the flow, and that's why making things freehand can be difficult to make a tutorial, but I hope this helps. I picked up 10 double crochets, and now we are going to be working again in the back loop only, in the back loop of what we picked up. And as you can see, our goal is to leave holes on both sides. So we are going to make another panel. You could choose to make 3 panels like I said, and then join them using a darning needle, but I just find that this is an easier way of doing it. So 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. So we are going to work on this panel, and we won't make it too long. So I would say work about 7 rows, and actually let's do 8 rows. We are going to work on this middle panel. We are going to do 8 rows, and I will meet you at the end of row number 8 so we can join to the back. Okay, so make 8 rows in the middle from the beginning here. So we are counting 1 2 3 8 rows. So make 8 rows, and I'll meet you at the end of row number 8. Okay, I'm now in row number 8, and as we said, we are only working in the back loops only, so you can get that ribbed effect. And now after row number 8, we are going to join again this part to the back part. Remember, we are only joining it to the 4 rows in the middle. So now we have this part. I hope you can see what it looks like. So once we join, we are going to be left with this hole and this hole, which is supposed to be for the ears. Okay, so again we are going to slip stitch this. Make sure it's right in the middle of the back part, which was 20. So again we are going to be only putting it in the middle 4 rows. Okay, we did in front, we chose 4 rows to pick up from, so pick up 1 2 3 4 rows to slip stitch it to. Again, you could use a darning needle here to join it to the to join these parts together, but it makes it easier to use crochet hook for me. So as you can see now, we have our complete hat, and the only thing left is to make the pom-pom, which you could choose to use you can buy a pom-pom, or you can make a pom-pom from the same yarn. And also we need to make some ties, so I'm going to fasten off here, and I'll leave a long tail just so I can weave it in. And as you can see, now we have our complete hat. It has two holes, this hole for the ear and the other hole. So this could be the front. As you can see, that's what it looks like. So you could choose to make 3 panels, a wide one and one long one, which is almost the same length as this, actually the same length, and then this one is about 2/3 of both of them, which goes in the middle to complete the hat like that. So now when we make the pom-pom, it's going to be here, and we are going to make the ties right on both sides right here. So let's go ahead and make some ties. I prefer to use double strand of yarn so that it's sort of thick, just because it's so that it's a bit sturdy instead of using a single strand of yarn. I'm just trying to weave in my ends in there so that I don't have to come back and do them again. But you can make as long you can make the ties as long as you wish. If you own a horse, then you know how long the tie needs to be. But as for me, this is just to show you how to do it, so I'm not going to make it overly long. So I'm just going to cut it right there. I'm going to make a loop in case this hat ends up having someone who likes it. I can extend the ties. So go ahead and make the other tie, and as you can see, our hat is coming along well. So go ahead and make the other ties and cut some yarn for the pom-pom. I'm just crocheting along my ends so that I don't have to weave them in again. And I'm making my second ties, and again I'm gonna make a loop so that in case I'm ever going to make it long, I can just use the loop to continue. So for my loop, I'm just kind of working back on a stitch, about 5 stitches back, and I'm fastening off right there, so in case I ever needed to make it longer, I can come and start crocheting right there, if that makes sense. Okay, and now our ties are done and our hat is finished. That's what it looks like. Okay, so our pom-pom is going to be right here. I'm going to go ahead and cut some yarn for the pom-pom, and I hope this helped, and I hope you made a hat for your horse. And if you would like me to do this again, or to make notes for you to even understand it better, I'm up for that now that we've made this together. Even if I didn't have my other notes, at least I did make this one. We made it together, and I can always use it for reference. So if you would like me to expound on anything we learned in this tutorial, go ahead and reach out to me in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. So I just cut some yarn for the pom-pom, and I'm not going to be fussy about it. I'm just going to attach it right here, so I can count 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So right in the middle of the middle panel, I'm going to tie my pom-pom. Okay, and there you have it. There is your hat for your horse. I hope this tutorial was helpful. I'm not even calling it, I shouldn't even call it a tutorial, because we kind of worked along together, but your goal is to have 2 holes on either side. So whichever way you choose to work on your hat, you can make 3 panels and join them. Just remember the front one is wider than the back. They are both the same length. The middle one is about 2/3 of both of them, and you just put it right in the middle of both, leaving 2 holes for ears. Okay, I hope that helps. If you want to see how it fits, I do have a video of where I talked about another hat. If you can go watch that, and you can kind of see how I explain how the horse wears it and all that. But for now, this is what I have, and I will attach some pictures as well for the other hat that I made for, actually the other one I made for a horse, so you can go ahead and see how it fits. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you would like me to do this again, just go ahead and reach out, and I'll be glad to do so. Thank you. Happy crocheting, happy making, and just go with the flow. Bye.